Hey, I'm Nate Navarro, and this is the Boost Da Bass preamp and DI from Epifani. Let me tell you, this is not your average preamp. It's a device meticulously crafted by the legend Nick Epifani, who spent over 3 decades in the trenches as a musician and electrical engineer, dead set on changing the game for live and studio bass sound. In his designs, he's worked alongside countless artists, and some of the inspirational players using Epifani include Oteil Burbridge, Christian McBride, Anthony Jackson, Brian Bromberg, and Ron Carter, to name a few. The motivation behind the Boost Da Bass was to provide players with a rich, deep fullness to their tone in any environment and with plenty of flexibility. The preamp offers a variety of routing options for maximum utility. Plug your bass into the preamp and send it straight to your amp, or go from the DI straight to house with pre- and post-EQ options available. Or by connecting the pedal's output directly to the effects return of an amp head, you can effectively bypass the amp's built-in preamp, allowing the pedal to serve as your primary preamp. This is a key feature that many bassists were asking Epifani for over the years while they were dealing with a slew of different backline gear. Often, bass players would get to a gig and be thrown into using whatever bass amp the venue provided for them. And given the fast-paced nature of live gigging, they wouldn't always have time to set up properly and find their sound. On top of this, oftentimes backline gear isn't the best to begin with. Here's where the Boost Da Bass comes in. You connect a couple cables, bypassing whatever preamp is on the menu, and then you have the pristine components and sound you've already dialed in, ready to go. This is a huge help for any live situation. You can be sure that your bass remains thick and rich from the Boost Da Bass, and it continues to be the underlying glue that holds the band together. Let's use the pedal as our primary preamp now, and we'll hear how it sounds in a metal context. We'll also explore the range of its EQ controls. The Boost Da Bass has a handy vintage switch, which engages Epifani's emulation of a classic tube circuit. It's a perfect pairing for any bass, and I find that if you're using an instrument with active electronics and a brighter, more modern sound, having the vintage switch is almost like bringing an extra bass to the gig with you. It tames back that wider frequency spectrum while adding in that undeniable classic tube character, taking a step back in time. Midcut level adjusts the amount of mid-range frequencies that'll be reduced when you engage the midcut foot switch. This gives you additional control over your tone as you change playing styles or switch basses. It's almost like having a second channel. Watch how I can use this feature to go from my preferred fingerstyle tone to a scooped slap tone. I personally see the Boost Da Bass as an extremely valuable tool for my own work as a touring and session musician. Sometimes I'll play fly dates or even entire tours where I'm not even running through an amp or a cabinet and everything's just in-ear monitoring. The Boost Da Bass is perfect for this sort of situation because it's designed with a proper ground scheme and unique high-quality components that completely negate the need for a transformer on the DI. So you can plug in, literally run it straight to house, and you'll sound amazing. Another feature of the pedal is the circuit is designed with 30 volts peak-to-peak of swing, enabling the Boost Da Bass to properly drive the input of a PA power amp for even more utility and flexibility. And in the event of a fly date where I'm running a backline rig that I'm not familiar with or it's lacking my desired sound, I can always run the Boost Da Bass to the effect return of the amp so the preamp tone that I've sculpted previously in my studio comes right back under my fingers wherever I'm at. And if you ever need to squeeze in some practice while you're on the road, the built-in auxiliary input and headphone out connections are perfect for that. Overall, you can tell this pedal is built with the professional musician in mind. It has everything you need, nothing you don't, and it's road tough. The Boost Da Bass really is a game changer for all touring and studio needs. I personally spoke with Nick Epifani myself, and the lengths he went to find the very best components for this pedal are impressive and inspiring. Find out more about the Boost Da Bass at epifani.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate Navarro. Take care.